Okay, so this song is tuned a half step down, so you're going to want to tune every string a half step down to E flat tuning to start out. And to start out the first intro part, what you're going to do is you're going to put your pointer finger on the 3rd fret, B string. Your ring finger is going to go on the D string on the 5th fret, and then your pinky is going to come down on the 5th fret on the high E string, okay? So that shape there, it's going to kind of mute the G string. Okay, so this shape is just going to move along the fretboard, so it's going to go from going off of the pointer finger, it's going to go from the 3rd to the 1st. You're going to slide the whole shape, and you're pretty much just strumming from like the D string down. Okay, so from the 3rd to the 1st, back to the 3rd, then it's going to go to the 6th, to the 8th, 6th, 3rd, 1st, 3rd. Okay, so this is how it looks all together slowly. And that's the last little part. You're gonna flick your pinky off. You're pretty much gonna just put your pointer finger, you're gonna bar it down so it's on the B and the high E string, and then you can flick your pinky off to the 3rd fret, high E. Okay, so here it is again. Okay, right after that it's gonna go into this part. So this part starts out, you're going to hit twice on the low E on the 3rd fret. Okay, then with your ring finger, you're going to slide from the 5th to the 7th on the low E. And with your pointer finger, you're going to catch the A string on the 5th fret. Okay. Then back with your ring finger, you're going to slide from the 7th to the 9th on the D string. Now, after you get to that point, you're going to bar with your pointer finger on the 7th fret from the D string down, all these strings. And then you're going to do a hammer-on pull-off on the 10th fret on the B string with your pinky. And then you hit the G string that's barred on the 7th. Okay? Here it is really slow. Okay, so after you do that hammer on pull off, then you hit that G string. That's the next part, so it's... Then you're gonna hit the D string that's still barred on the 7th fret. Then with the pinky finger, you're gonna hold down the 10th fret on the A string. Then you're coming back down to the D string that's barred again. The last note is the B and G string that's barred on the 7th. You're gonna hit both of them. Okay, that's the whole first little part. So from here again. Okay. Next part, you're gonna come back down to the low E on the 3rd fret. You're gonna slide to the 5th. Then you're gonna catch the A string on the 3rd fret. And then ring finger, you're gonna bar the D and G string on the 5th fret. You're gonna do like a double stop. You're gonna hit both those strings. Now right after you hit that, you're gonna have to switch to your pointer finger with the same exact 2 strings. You're gonna hit it again. Okay. Here's how the next part sounds all together. Okay, so it's So after you switch to your pointer finger, hit that again. The next one is you hit those two, then you're gonna add your ring finger to the 7th fret on the D string only. You're gonna still leave that G string bar, covered on the 5th fret. Then you're gonna lift it off again. Then here on the next one is gonna be on the 8th fret on the A string. You're gonna hit that, then lift it off, and still hit it again, the same 2 strings, the D and the G string on the 5th fret. So slowly it looks like this. So from here again, it's gonna be. Next step is going to be, you're going to take your middle finger, hit the 6th fret on the low E, take your pinky, put it to the A string on the 8th fret, hit that, and then the same double stop on the D and G string on the 5th fret. Okay, so again. Here it is again from the intro. Slow down a little bit. Alright, cool. So the next part is you're going to have to make this Jimi Hendrix bar chord shape, which is you're going to take your thumb, you're going to have to wrap your thumb around, well, this is the way I play, you wrap your thumb around on the 3rd fret on the low E string, the pointer finger you're going to bar just like from the D string down, okay, then you just place your middle finger on the G string on the 4th fret, and then your ring finger on the 5th fret on the D string, okay. Okay, so that's the shape that I used to play this chord. The other, you could just do a normal G bar chord here too, like this, which is barred on the 3rd, and then you got A string, D string on the 5th, and then G string on the 4th. That's your normal bar chord shape, but the way Jimmy plays it is going to be more like this shape. So when you get to this point, you're going to hit the low E string, which is the 3rd fret. Then you're going to hit the higher strings. But you cut it off quick. Then you're going to go from the 3rd to the 5th on the A string. Slide. Then with your pointer finger, bar the 3rd fret on the D and G string. You're going to hit that twice. So it's. And then the ring finger is going to slide from the 5th to the 7th on the A string. And then bar again on the D and G string on the 5th fret. You're going to hit that once. So it's. Then your middle finger, you're going to hit this 6th fret low E string. Then back to the 5th fret D and G. So here it is slowly. And you're going to do the exact same thing twice. Okay? So again, here's everything slowly from the very beginning to put it into context. Okay. So after that, you're gonna get into the chords. So it's gonna come to an F shape is the next chord. So I play it the exact same way. Your thumb is gonna come around, cover the low E string on the first fret, and then the same exact chord, bar here, first fret, then middle finger on the G string second, ring finger on the third fret D string. Okay, so it's gonna go to the F. That's the next part. So it's the way I play it, and again, this is not going to be exactly how Jimi Hendrix played it. This is just kind of my own version of it, but all the chords are the same and everything, and you could play along with the record and everything the same way. So it's going to be it's low E string on the first fret. You're going to do two down strums. Then you're going to pick up from the high E, B, G, then one more down strum. Okay. Then I hit the low E string with the covered on with my thumb on the first, and slide it to the fifth. So when you slide it to the fifth, you're going to do a quick hammer on. You're still barred here on the fifth fret with your pointer finger. When you slide, just slide with it, keep it barred the whole time. Slide to the fifth fret, and you're gonna do a hammer on here. So it's gonna be from the fifth fret to the seventh fret. You're gonna hammer on the G string, but you're gonna hit the B string with it. Okay. Then you do one strum after you do the hammer on. So after you do the hammer on, do that one down strum, then you're gonna flick up on the high strings, the high E, B, and G. But I'm gonna bend right here with the seventh fret on the G string. You bend up, bend back down, and then you're gonna pull off and land on the D string on the seventh fret. Okay, I know it's kind of confusing, but you'll get the hang of it. So after you do that bend, pull off, land on the D string on the seventh, you're still barred here again, and you're gonna do a double stop. You're gonna hammer on to the D string on the seventh fret, but still hit the G string with it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do it slowly. And then when you hammer on to that seventh fret D, you're gonna slide down. Okay, right after you slide down, you're gonna hit the open low E, and then you come to this E chord here, which is gonna be barred on the seventh fret from the A string down. You're gonna put your middle finger on the 8th fret on the B string, and then your ring finger is gonna go on the 9th fret on the D string. Okay, so after you slide down, hit that low E. That's kind of how I strum. I kind of do like a funk kind of strum. Okay. So from here again. Then you're gonna go right to that F chord again. You're gonna hit the low E on the first. Do a quick little strike, and then mute it. Then you're gonna go to a C chord, which is gonna be barred on the 3rd fret on the A string down, and then put your bar the rest on the 5th fret from the D string down. And then you land on the G chord here, which we've already done this chord on the 3rd fret, low E. So it's gonna go. So it's that low E on the first, strike that chord, then you're gonna hit the 3rd fret A, and then do that again, strike the chord again for that C, and then you're gonna hit the low E on the 3rd, and that one you can let ring out a little bit. That's the G chord. That's the next part. So you're gonna strum that G chord a little bit. And then you're gonna strum it, and then you're gonna slide with your ring finger from the 5th to the 7th on the A string. Do that double step again on the 5th fret, D and G. So it's then back to the low E on the 3rd. Alright guys, I'm going to back it up a little bit and just play through it just so you could see it together. Okay, hope you guys got all that. So after you do that this last part, after you do that slide, double stop, and then you land back on the G, you're just gonna do one strike. Then it's kind of like a turnaround lick that brings you back to the F. It's gonna sound like this, which is pretty much the bottom part of a D. It's gonna be G string 2nd fret, B string 3rd fret. You're gonna hold those two down with your pointer and middle finger. You're gonna hit both of those strings and hammer on with your ring finger onto the 3rd fret on the G string. So after you do that hammer on pull off, you're gonna pull off with your middle finger, or with your pointer finger on the 2nd fret. Then put it back and hit it again. So from this point on, then you go back to the F chord again. You're gonna hit the low E on the first. I do the same strum, then the picking part. High E, B, G, then a strum. Right after that, you're gonna hit the open A. And then you're gonna do a hammer on onto the 2nd fret on the D and G string. You're gonna hit them both open and hammer on to the 2nd fret. Right after you hammer that on, you're gonna hit the high E string, and you're gonna catch the high E and the B both open. So it's right after you hit the high E, B open, you're gonna take your middle finger, you're gonna slide from the 2nd to the 4th on the G string, the pointer finger is gonna hit the 3rd fret B. Then you're gonna slide back down on the G string to the 2nd. You're gonna do a pull off and land on the D string on the 2nd. So this part looks like this. Next part, you're gonna hit the open E. You hit the open E, and then you're gonna keep that finger down on the D string on the 2nd. You're gonna hit the open E, the D, and then just kind of strum the top strings, the D, the G, B, and E. And then you're gonna do, which is a hammer-on pull-off on the 2nd fret D, land on the A string, 2nd fret. You can do that twice. So back from the F chord here. So after you do that hammer and pull off, land on the A twice, you're going to take your ring finger and slide from the 3rd to the 5th on the low E. So you're going to hit the 3rd fret on the A, and then you're going to slide from the 5th fret to the 7th on the A with your ring again. And then hit the 5th fret on the D. You're actually going to do a double stop there. You hit the D and the G covered on the 5th. And then back to the G chord. So when you land back on the G, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to hit the low E, strum a little bit, then with your ring finger again, you're going to slide on the A string from the 5th to the 7th, and then do that double step on the 5th fret. So it's just one strum. That kind of ends the whole progression, okay? Then it starts back with that part again. So I'm gonna go through the whole thing and show you from the beginning, slowly. And then that brings you right back to the intro again. And then you pretty much do the whole thing over again. And that's the lesson. And then it goes through a 3rd time. It pretty much does the same thing, slows it down a little bit, and then to end it, he goes back to this shape. It does that same little riff. So pretty much it's the same thing as the beginning, but he adds in this 10th fret also this time for the end. And you can mess with that all you want. Again, it's just 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, 6th fret, 8th fret, 10th, 8th, 6th, 3rd, 1st, 3rd. But you could mess with it and do it however you want. So that's it. I hope you guys liked the lesson. Hope it helped. Again, just to say it again, this lesson or tutorial is not going to be exactly the exact notes that Jimi Hendrix played. Just kind of my version of it. There's a bunch of different versions out there. So I hope you guys liked it. Hope it helps. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment box. And also, I hope you guys subscribe. There's going to be more lessons coming soon. Appreciate it to all the subscribers already. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.